I will reiterate for people who didn't hear the first episode. You look like you're 60. It is remarkable. Certainly something to aspire to and removes any excuses I might have. And I have notes in front of me with a number of things that I would love to discuss. The first is developing awareness. And I have a note here about recording your weight. What is your suggestion for people? And is this something that you have done yourself?
Yes. First of all, I had a relative who was significantly overweight, and he wished to lose weight. And so I said, the first thing you do, I'm not going to tell you what to eat or how to eat it or anything else. The first thing you do is you get on the scale every morning and you write down the date and how much you weighed. And just observe that number and do that day after day. Well, it turned out he didn't really want to lose weight. And so after a while, he stopped doing this. And so I got after him and got him to do it again for a while. And then he quit again. And his weight would go down and bounce back up and go down and bounce back up. But when he was writing it down, it seemed to alter his behavior. And his weight would slowly drift downward. So I've made a habit myself of getting on the scale, maybe not every morning because I don't need to anymore, but for a long time I'd get on every morning and just observe what I weighed. And I've been pretty well bracketed between 151 and about 158 for as long as I can remember. And if I get near 158, I say, well, I don't need that dessert tonight. Or that beer, we'll have it some other time. Or how about a great big healthy salad today instead of a burger? And it's enough to shift me down. And then I have another little thing that I check. There's a simplistic notion of apples and pears in people. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Have you heard about this one?
I have. Mm-hmm.
An apple is somebody that tends toward getting a big pot belly when they gain weight. And I come from a family of apples. And this is not healthy because you get all this fat around your internal organs. So one of the things I put on my list early was never get that pot belly. So all I have to do is I can look down. If I see anything that isn't flat down there, I know I weigh too much. That's another awareness leads to change things. Those two feedbacks are more than enough to control my weight for a lifetime, and I rarely have to use them. But anyhow, I would say that a person can develop their own feedbacks, whatever those are, and use them. And measurement is important because you want facts on which to base what you do instead of hopes, beliefs, wishes, so on.
I remember a T-shirt that I was given a long time ago by the director James Cameron. It was actually an original staff shirt for the film Avatar, and the very top of it said, "Hope is not a strategy," which I liked quite a lot. And your weighing, just to get specific, is before breakfast and without clothes, or what you would recommend. Is that accurate?
I do two things. When that's convenient, I do that. When it's not convenient, I just happen to go to the scale, maybe before a shower in the middle of the day, and I weigh myself and put that down as a little side fact. And of course, I'm going to weigh more in the middle of the day than I did first thing in the morning. So I know that. So maybe I weigh 152 in the morning, but when I put my little side thing down, it might say at 3 p.m., it might say 154 and a half. Mm-hmm. So I know that roughly speaking, about each third of the day corresponding to each possible meal, I gain about 1 pound. Mm. So I can mentally correct back to the beginning of the day. Mm-hmm. I don't have to weigh myself every morning if it's not convenient, but I get other feedback.
Right, absolutely.
The whole thing about health and fitness, as I see it, is you want to do things that are preventative, and you want to make sure you're not missing something important, because it's the things you miss that are going to do more damage than the positive things are to save you. I mean, you can work out and be fit and have high aerobics and so on, but if you're not going in for routine colonoscopies and skin cancer checks and so on, you're leaving a big risk factor open for yourself. So you got to try to get rid of the risks that you can cover.
Do you have a checklist for yourself, or how do you ensure that you are not missing gaps or blind spots?
I think about it and I talk to people, and I pick up information all over, and my list expands. There's a lot of topics on the list. There's physical fitness of various kinds. There is mental health. There's supplements, which I don't take much of because the evidence isn't strong enough in my mind for them. Other people will disagree, but I'm not heavy on supplements. Only if I think they've really been proven. One thing that I found that really worked well was bone supplements.
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to reverse osteopenia and turn it into excess bone after several years.
Bone supplements meaning, say, calcium, magnesium, K2 blends, things of that type.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I have a few bullet points that I would love to hear you expand on. And actually, before I get to that, I should say that it is incredible how much behavioral change can subconsciously seep into someone's life, also consciously, but I find the subconscious side especially interesting if they simply begin to measure whether it's body weight or body composition, which is partially why self-directed observational studies or at-home clinical trials or experiments are so difficult to design well, because you can say to someone, all right, you're going to follow the Mediterranean diet, keep all of your other variables the same, don't change anything else, but rarely is that going to be the case. So that's just a side note.